I would say we have an edge on the vast majority of other companies. We have a permitted operation, we have a footprint, we have a facility. We don't have to build leach pads, we don't have to build ponds. We just take that ore from that new discovery and we do everything on this existing disturbed site.
Borealis Mining Company Limited is a client and sponsor of Pinnacle Digest, whose parent company owns shares and warrants of Borealis Mining Company Limited. Please read the full disclosure at the end of this video.
In the heart of rugged northern Nevada, the land bears witness to the untold stories of countless dreamers and prospectors. And thanks in part to their risky and sometimes painful efforts over more than 150 years, numerous world-class gold mines have been discovered within the state, making Nevada a global power when it comes to gold production. In fact, Nevada produces nearly 3/4 of the United States' annual gold mining production. If it were a country, Nevada would rank as a top 10 gold producer globally in recent years, competing right alongside Mexico's annual mining gold production. Nevada was recently rated the world's top mining jurisdiction by the Fraser Institute, and the who's who of the mining world have operations in the state. Nevada's storied reputation and unique geology continually attract global miners and industry professionals to its lands, as it hosts prolific gold trends and cumulative production since 1835 of nearly 250 million ounces of the precious metal, a staggering amount. There are three famous trends that have produced the bulk of Nevada's gold over the decades: the Carlin Trend, the Cortez Trend, and one of the reasons I'm here today, the Walker Lane Gold Trend. Visual Capitalist stated in 2020 that the Walker Lane stands out with exceptional high grades, growing reserves, and massive discovery potential. Nestled in the Walker Lane Gold Trend near the town of Hawthorne, the Borealis mine has historic and even recent gold production, significant capital investment, and substantial infrastructure in place, including an on-site refinery. Yet the young company, which recently raised roughly $8 million to develop the project further, believes it's an underexplored asset with high-grade resource expansion potential. Led by a cadre of industry veterans who have bought and sold mining companies, the team at Borealis Mining has an aggressive 2-year plan for this gold project. Shortly, I'll be meeting with Kelly Malcolm, Borealis Mining's CEO, professional geologist with extensive experience focused on precious metal exploration. He is the VP of Exploration at Amex Exploration, the 2022 Exploration Company of the Year at the Mines and Money Show. Kelly was recently involved in the discovery and delineation of Detour Gold's high-grade 58 North gold deposit. His sights are now set on the development and exploration of the Borealis mine. Kelly, thanks for having us. You've taken us down to the pits. We got to start with the board of directors. Let's start with Tony Makuch.
Absolutely. Superstar in the mining industry, just sold Kirkland Lake Gold. We have Bob Buchan, founder of Kinross, which is the 6th largest gold producer in the world. We have Greg Gibson, sold Jarrett Canyon recently, so deep Nevada experience, deep mining industry experience. Rich Patricio, he was the founding director of NextGen. Christina McCarthy just recently built and sold Paycore Minerals. So very, very, very strong board.
What do you think attracted all of these high-level people to the Borealis mine?
So a few different things. Not to toot my own horn and our team's horn, but we're young and hungry. We've invested a lot of our own money into this deal. They like to see a team that really is in it to win it. We've got a permitted mine site in Nevada, which means something in this state. This is the most prolific place to look for gold, to produce gold. We have a permitted mine. We're standing in a ready-to-mine pit. And that really is the thing that I think drew all of them to it.
Let's talk about where things stand today. Are you guys producing gold right now? What are you producing? What does that look like?
Sure, so yes, we are producing. We're producing from our leach pad. So it's residual ore from last year's mining. That mining occurred from this pit. So actually just over here, there was a bench removed that was crushed and stacked on the leach pad. You can see these blast holes all around us here. So we're standing on a ready to mine area of this pit. We poured gold last month. We poured gold in June. There was gold poured by the previous owners in March or so. So probably we'll do about 1,000 ounces or so this year. And what we're really working to do is turn the taps back on. So we're doing all the engineering homework. We're doing all the economic evaluation. Ian's doing all the resource modeling. And that will result in probably a Q2 go or no go decision to resume mining on this project, which we certainly want to do.
How much money are you going to need to turn this project back online?
We'll need to pay to bring some contractors on site. We'll need to obviously pay to float as we wait to produce our first bars of gold, to pay the bills. With a couple $1 million, we can have this thing singing pretty quickly.
So there's been significant historic production. Can you outline that quickly and then talk about the stockpile that's ready to go?
So historically, this pit was mined in the past in the 80s. Project was found in 1978, started mining 81. They did 500,000 ounces, a little over 2 grams per ton, all beautiful oxide mineralization like you can see here and everywhere around the site. Mining kind of resumed in 2011 with the predecessor company that owned it before and built all this infrastructure. They did another, call it 75,000 ounces or so, plus Waterton's recent production. For a cumulative total of around 600,000 ounces, just under 2 grams. We've got a stockpile of ore that, like I said, came from this pit. That is ready at the pad. We just have to crush it, put it on a conveyor, pop it on the leach pad. We also have a huge chunk of the leach pad that's never seen cyanide. We bought this project with the cheapest possible way to process and extract gold from the rock, sitting there waiting for us as a bonus from the previous owners.
And how many tons are stockpiled, approximately?
400,000 tons. We'll drive by it, I'll show it to you. It's a huge mountain of rock.
And does the company have any estimates as to like what it runs? Like how many grams per ton and how much gold might actually be there?
I can't talk to profit, but I can talk to what we estimate is in that pile. And it's a few thousand ounces sitting there that literally you just have to crush, pop on the pad, and that's potentially worth a few $1 million US, which is amazing for a freebie.
Exploration is so key to the whole story here, right? What does that look like from a production standpoint? Like in terms of permitting and, accessing that ore, should you, if you, discover another ore body, another pit, how do you go from the exploration phase to ramping up production?
So we have the best team to do that with Ian and Andreas. They ramped up the Detour Lake mine from grassroots to one of the biggest mines in all of Canada. What it's going to take is a bit of permitting. I would say we have an edge on the vast majority of other companies. We have a permitted operation, we have a footprint, we have a facility. We don't have to build leach pads, we don't have to build ponds. You just take that ore from that new discovery and we do everything on this existing disturbed site.
When was the last time the project was drilled and how many meters are you guys hoping to drill?
The last real exploration was probably around 2008. There was a little bit of drilling to support production. We plan to drill a lot. For the past 5 years, drilled 400,000 meters. I ran one of the biggest drilling programs in Canada. I like to drill holes, we like to test, we like to look for discoveries. Planning on starting with 10,000 meters, but I expect that number will just continue to grow as we advance forward.
All right, so I think we should move to the next location. Where are we headed next?
Leach pads, ADR, and we'll see how the gold's produced.
Let's go. So we're standing on an old heap leach pad here. We can see everything from here. Talk to us about the infrastructure of the process step by step.
There's the pit that we were just in. Ore will come out. It goes to the stockpile over there. It's then crushed, stacked on that leach pad over there where you can see it's actively being leached at the moment. Ore comes out in the form of a solution in a pipe into our ADR facility through this ditch down here.
That building?
That's our building right there. It goes into carbon columns. The carbon sequesters the gold. We then do a few different processes to it, end up with dry precipitate that goes into our furnace, pour out doré bars. We have a substation, we have our own laboratory facilities, geology section, including our core shack, water well area, fuel stations. It's all here. It's a very, very happening, infrastructure heavy project.
Andreas, thanks for meeting with us. What's your role with the company?
I am the COO for Borealis,
Okay.
and my role essentially is to plan out and execute the mining restart, and then also identify other value-added opportunities that come by our company.
So as this is your forte, can you simplify the gold extraction process for us?
Absolutely. So we're gonna place fresh ore on a heap leach pad that contains gold. We're going to leach, we're gonna draw that gold out, and we're gonna bring it over to our facility. We put it in these carbon columns over here that cyanide solution runs through, and that gold gets trapped in the carbon the same as a Brita filter. From there, we're gonna separate that gold out, and then we create a concentrate. That concentrate goes through a furnace, and that's how we pour our doré bars here on site. Our last pour was in August, actually.
Now that sounds relatively simple. Obviously, as you guys ramp up in the future, potentially, there's always risks associated with mining. What's something that could go wrong, with a system like this?
I would say the good thing is this system here is actually very well established in the Southwest US and around the world. It's a relatively simple system which uses a lot of interchangeable parts. So we're not looking at, let's say, a heart's risk because we can draw from a much wider supply. Some of the risks that are associated with this plant here are water management and evaporation, but that's something that we manage at the heap leach pad.
And what is the capacity of the plant as it stands today?
As it stands today, we actually have 2 of these carbon trains. It was originally designed with 1. So we're actually looking at 60 to 80,000 ounces per year with no additional infrastructure improvements.
So we've come over the hill. What drill targets are you most excited about getting after?
So there's a few. When I first got the project, the Graben sulfide target was my absolute baby. The holes are beautiful there. Check our presentation, high grade, long widths. The more that I've been on the project and understood the value of our infrastructure, even smaller oxide deposits at surface are really exciting. If you find even 100,000 ounces at surface, it doesn't take much to pop it onto the leach pad over there. There's a ridge just to the west of Northeast Ridge that I'm really excited about. The JRCD area, there was some past production there. We'll go back in there and drill that almost immediately. I'm really excited about that. Those are my 2 in front of us near-term targets.
Okay, when we look out over the next few quarters, what are some of the big milestones you'd have investors focus on?
Drill results, we'll have our first ever drill results as Borealis Mining Company. We do intend to work over the next few months to get a yay or nay decision on restart of mining, which is a really big one. We're keen to make acquisitions in Nevada and grow this company, so potentially something on that front as well.
Best of luck. Thanks for your time today, Matt.
Thank you very much.
Enjoyed it. We walked through the history, the infrastructure, the plans, and the dreams that make up Borealis Mining. We've glimpsed the past and the present and looked ahead to the company's future goals, including exploration, expansion, and the pursuit of gold production. As with any exploration and mining endeavor, challenges and risks always loom on the horizon. But it's the spirit, wealth of experience, and the collective determination of the Borealis team that should help navigate these waters. Led by industry veterans with well-known track records, Borealis Mining is in a unique position compared to many other juniors. It already has gold production infrastructure, yet management believes the company's project is underexplored, partly because there hasn't been major exploration in over a decade. With a vision to explore and expand, Borealis Mining has embarked on an ambitious strategy in the Walker Lane Gold Trend here in Nevada.